Welcome to Dream by Design with Melissa Banks. I'm your host, Melissa Banks. I'm excited you decided to join us today. And today we have an amazing woman to share her journey with us, how she was able to keep going despite the circumstances. Our guest today is Kerry-Ann Richie Wilkinson from the Fab Institute of Beauty. Welcome to the show, Kerry-Ann.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for having me. You look gorgeous.
Thank
Fabulous.
you. So do you. I love the pink.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm so thrilled to talk to you today. Your story is just so compelling, and it's just what me and our audience would want to hear. Want to hear how everything wasn't laid out all glorious. You had to push through some stuff. So I'm excited to talk to you today. I want to begin though. Okay, in my preparation, I jumped to your page and I'm looking at your Facebook page, but the very first thing I see is a post that you have pinned to your page. And it says, I wanted to give up, but that was too easy. Do you know how powerful just those few words are? It's like jumped at me when I saw it. And I know others have the same reaction. Talk to us a little bit about that and what you meant when you said that.
Yes, you saw that because it has almost 4,000 likes.
Mm-hmm.
Starting that, yeah. And when I posted that, that was actually my hubby's birthday. And I took that picture, but I thought about all the times that I tried to commit suicide twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or one, I thought about it and I went through the second time I was like, so many times I thought about it, Melissa. Oh my God, know that I'm telling you. The first time it happened, I was 16 and in Jamaica. And I said, I'm going to kill myself. I was so stressful. I can't go through it. I had to take care of my grandparents, which, that's okay because I do enjoy my grandparents. I do love them. I wish they were still here today. And so I decided I was going to kill myself that night, but I was going to go to church first, right? And then I went to church and there was an intervention with God. And that lady started speaking to me and it spoke to my soul and I started crying. And I'm like, maybe, it encouraged me to keep going. Mm-hmm. And so I kept going. And that was at age 16. And then there were times when I came here and just being pulled from my surrounding that I know, the people I know. My grandparents, they died 9 months apart. And so coming here was kind of stressful for me. And there are several times throughout that I thought about suicide. And there's one particular time that I had like a small intervention. And then that's why I said, oh my God, everything is coming back now that you mentioned it. Now with everything that's happening and opening the school, I'm like, oh my God, I've been in depression clinic. I've been admitted. And so looking back now on my life and the struggles and the challenges that I've experienced, that night I was so happy and I said, there's so many times that I wanted to give up, but that's too easy. It's just to kill yourself or to quit, you understand? But now that I'm a Christian, I understand that that was just a plan of the enemy and God wants us to live. God wants us to live, Melissa. And so that's where that post really came from, because there were times I've been through dark spots in my life. Just people, and looking at me, that's the thing, Melissa. Sometimes you look at some people, and that's why the people who you see commit suicide are always the most jovial, the most fun, and because there's so much things, there's so much people around them, but they're lonely inside, and not a reflection of them, like they're a bad person or outcast to society. But there are sometimes in life we have struggles, and sometimes because we can't see the future. And that's why God said we have to walk by faith and not by sight, because sometimes you kill your own purpose or a struggle, Melissa. I'm getting chills and I'm so sorry. The first question is so long with my answer. But if this what the people who are watching get from it, oh my God. Sometimes we're doing things, Melissa, and we want it a certain way. And God just give you the first part of it. Hallelujah. Oh my God, I'm getting chills. But Melissa, God has already have the plan. He orchestrated it. To him, he says 6 months. We're like, okay, 3 months, this will be done. But God is taking us through a process to refine us and to prepare us for where he's taking us. And sometimes we're not able to see ahead, but that's why we just need to trust him. But I've overcome so many things in my life. And so that night, the mood I was in, I was so excited, so happy. I'm married. I'm with a husband. I'm here in the United States. My life, the trajectory of my life has changed completely. And so I was just saying, giving up is too easy, because I even closed my salon 2 years ago because I was just going through so much. But I just felt joy in my heart, even though I was experiencing challenges.
And I think that's so powerful that it's that's why I wanted you to talk about it, because it's had such an impact on me when I saw it. And I've gone through moments that I wanted to quit. I've gone through moments that
Yes.
it just seemed too hard to keep going. I even gone
Yes.
through moments where I just sat and cried and said, why is my race so much harder than somebody else's? But that when I
Yes.
read that, it was so powerful, and just sharing that. Thank you for that. So
Yes.
let's talk about you and your career. I mean, just 8 years ago was when you got your license as a cosmetologist, right?
Yes.
And then just a few weeks ago, you opened a beauty school. How,
Yes.
I mean, congratulations on the school and all the success that
Thank
will bring
you.
you. But talk, I heard you say, or I read it, I'm not sure where, but you said it took resilience, passion, and an unwavering belief in dreams. Why is all three of those things so important?
Melissa, you did went through my Facebook. That was
I
my
did.
speech. That was my speech that I did at the opening, right? So
Oh, I can
resilience.
remember where I got it from. Okay.
Yes, it was so good. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, Kerry, I love the speech." So I just went ahead and posted it on there, even for those who weren't there, so they could just, feel my heart. And so the resilience, the passion, and the unwavering. What did I say? The unwavering
Unwavering belief in dreams.
belief, right, right. So first of all, let's start with the dream, right? Unwavering. Let's start with that, because when I was younger, I've always had the dream of becoming a hairstylist, a makeup artist, and a clothing, owning a clothing boutique, which I shared earlier on our previous podcast. But so that dream was always there. When I got the scholarship to the United States, I went to University of Charleston, and I studied business and marketing. While going through college, I actually went over to the beauty school to see if I could enroll. But at that time, it was like $10,000, and I didn't have that money to invest at the time. So I continued with my scholarship at the University of Charleston, where I got my degree in business administration and marketing. But after that, I've always wanted to be in beauty school. I did the girls' hair in college. Back home, I did the students' hair. That was my money in college, right? I do a full sewing for $20. Or extra doing the makeup for extra 20. I got $40 to all the over. College students. And so I've always had that dream, but I realized my gifting was in makeup, and then I went to beauty school as I started doing makeup line and stuff like that. So I have my lipstick, my foundation, everything I wear is from my line. And I was just asking today, how can I reinvent that? So I'm going to look into that. So here I had that dream of having the makeup store, and I was doing people's makeup at home. And so they reported me. And so I went to the board, and they were like, it's okay because I have a makeup line. So it's just like being at any other store. But I went to beauty school just to see, you know what? I said, I'm going to check just so they don't have anything over me. If I need a license, I'll get my credential. And I didn't know it would turn into something like this. I went to beauty school when I was 36, by the way. So yes, I'm older.
Wow.
Yes, so that dream has always been inside me. I've done other work, but Melissa, you have a passion for something, and it seems like it chases you down just as much as you
Yes,
love
yes.
pink. You're like, oh my God, I want everything pink. It's the same thing when you have a dream, or actually you have that unwavering, it's like it won't go away, right? And if you know that that's what you should be doing, and sometimes we're doubtful or we don't understand it, that's where God is taking us, because I didn't know I would be opening a school, Melissa. And so even with that, I had to be resilient. Beauty school wasn't the best for me, and this is why I want to change the atmosphere of the beauty school and the perspective, the cattiness, and with beauty school, all females. But I want to change the climate and the culture of beauty school. But that's with the unwavering dream. I've had this dream since I was a kid. Secondly, the passion, I was always passionate about it, beauty. And even now that passion is turning into something where I want to mentor other young students, young entrepreneurs. Business is my beauty. And also beauty is my business, but also I find beauty in business. You understand what I mean?
That's
I
right.
love the
Absolutely.
business aspect of it and the resilience. Oh, Melissa, dealing with all different people from all walks of life, opening up yourself to 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 whatever thing they're going through. Because now they call, you have to be at their beck and call, the appointments and everything. And I left straight from beauty school in 1 year to opening my salon, Melissa. And so you have to be resilient because you're young. People will talk about you. Some people don't like their hair, snipped a person or like burnt them here and there or a little poke here. But that was through my growing. I was growing. And so we overcame the challenges, but you have to be resilient. Sometimes they make money, Melissa. Sometimes they don't make
Exactly.
money. And it's good to have a partner. And you have to just understand that these days are the winter time. Winter is coming, right? And then there's summertime and the flourishing. Everybody wants to get their hair done. Everybody just want to showcase, what their beauty, let their hair down because they've been all, in the house for the winter time. And so winter time is usually the slow time for beauty business, right? And even when, oh God, I just want to say this one thing. Even in Corona time, when all the beauty stores had to be closed, right? And that opened up another avenue for me, which I didn't realize. Most people started buying wigs, asking me to customize them. I think I made more money in Corona than what I've really made if I was at the salon. And I'm like, oh my God, but you have to be resilient because that time you have to use it wisely. You have to finance wisely. You have to budget because it's not always going to last. But I'm telling you, Melissa, the resilience, you have to have it. The mental health need to be on point, dealing with everybody, dealing with their problems, things that you just have to be strong with. And sometimes you need support. Sometimes I'm sure you have a girlfriend that you call. You said that you cried. Sometimes you just cry, especially around that time, Mother Nature take over. You just have to let your hair down. You have to be resilient. You have to know that this is what you're going to do. This is what the Lord has in store for you. And you have to be passionate about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you can hear the passion when someone is really passionate about it. You can hear it, you can feel it. When they talk about it, they get super excited about it. And that's what it takes. If you're not doing something that you're passionate about, all that other stuff coming at you will take you down. So you're past that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Let me reset for a moment. If you're just joining us, you're watching Dream by Design with Melissa Banks. I'm your host, Melissa Banks, and today our guest is Kerry-Ann Richie Wilkinson with the Fab Institute of Beauty. So let's talk about that a little bit, Kerry-Ann. As you go through your journey and all the ups and downs, we all go through it. But it's how you deal with it when you go through it. So when you're dealing with stuff, the business, you're working, you're starting new things, and you even talked about the coronavirus times. That started a whole new career path for me as well. So I definitely can connect with you on that. But talk to us about how you refill yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. So if you keep giving out without putting something in, you're not going to be able to do it. So when it's time to just breathe and make it about Kerry-Ann and encourage Kerry-Ann, nobody else, what is it that you do during those times?
Yes, Melissa, that's a very good question. And as I touched on mental health before, oh my God, Melissa, the last time, well, actually this time, 2 years ago, I closed the salon, it's not easy, but I knew I needed to stop. I needed to focus on me. I felt like I was going downhill. I felt my art was going to bust, because you were catering to people and everything is scheduled around what they want, how you can give of yourself. And sometimes, even though you're doing a good deed, sometimes you get weary. And the Bible said, do not get weary in good doing, because, it's good, right? But you have to refill your cup This last 2 years, I've been spending the time to refill my cup. But it's also good that you have someone who can support you, like my husband did. So I'm not able, I didn't work. I said, babe, can I just stop working? This is getting to me. And he said, anything you want. And so I stopped, right? And so I'm like, oh my God. I said, this is what happiness feels like. I said, this is what freedom feels like. I wake up and I feel like there's no weight on my shoulder because I didn't have to like, okay, when is my next appointment? Did I order all the hair? Did I have all the inventory? Is this person gonna buy? Why this is not selling? You know, you have to do, I'm the marketer, I'm the janitor, I'm the hairstylist, I'm the talent, I'm everything. Yes, I worked with other people, but I still had to make sure everything was good. The taxes, the paperwork, everything it became so much. And most time my vacations were contingent on what I had planned for my clients, you know, the schedule. But then so this last 2 years, Melissa, I've been so breathtaking. I've been going on trips. My hubby loves to travel, and we got massages, girl, and just unwind and enjoy, you know. And you don't have to be worried because I used to worry like, okay, I need to get back before I have people's hair to do. Melissa, this last 2 years was a total reset for me, and I'm glad I took it. I was actually experiencing burnout. But I should say this for those who are not able to just take a full extended leave from work. You can actually have friends like Melissa to call on, you know. Take a time, even a day or two for yourself. Go do something that you love and enjoy. Go do a massage, get your feet done. Self-care, that they say these days. Self-care, get your nails done. And it doesn't have to be expensive or something like, extravagant. Just do something that you enjoy, and so that will give you a moment to breathe, a moment to unwind, a moment to reset, a moment to recalibrate, a moment just to be you.
Absolutely. You talked about taking that time off, and I had another guest that talked about the pause. Sometimes we need to pause to look how fired up and excited you are because you needed to pause. Not that you were giving up on the dream, but you needed that pause to reset. And I think that's absolutely amazing. I talk about it all the time. Sometimes my reset is just sitting and taking some peppermint and stirring it into coffee. I know that sounds weird, but that is so soothing to me. You can take some time for you, even if it's a few minutes, and it makes all the difference in the world. So thank you for that. Okay, so now let's just talk about the Fab Institute of Beauty. Who is it for? Why did you want to start it? Share with our audience something about, we may have somebody listening that wants to jump into the beauty industry. Talk to us about the Fab Institute of Beauty.
Certainly. Oh my God, the Fab is for future ambassadors of beauty. I was at church and the Lord, I said the Fab, because my salon was a Fab House salon. And I got that. It wasn't even on the paper at the Secretary of State because I got it in the car. I registered my business, right? But as a DBA, I'm like, oh my God, do Fab House Salon. And so when I decided to do the business, I didn't even get the name. I'm like, okay, I need to change it to something. But while I was at church, Melissa, I'm a Christian now, so I'm going to talk about Jesus. I'm so sorry all the time, right? And so I was at church, and the Lord said, Fab, future ambassador of beauty. And I'm like, oh my God, what an epiphany. And so this dream is really from God. And today, Melissa, I was saying, because I've been like, I should have opened in October, then we had to go through some paperwork. And there was a delay, and I said November the 5th, and I'm like, oh my God, we're still not open yet. But I'm waiting on a few people, their paperwork to come through to the government. But this morning I was like, you know what? This is God's school. God is using me as a vessel to impact the people in this world, the other young ladies that he wants to impact, right? And I'm going to be impactful to them and impress upon them. But this is God's dream. God input this dream in my heart, not just for me to be fancy and I'm a school owner, but to share my knowledge, to share my gifts and my talents with others, but also hone them into what he wants them to be, into his purpose. So today I just pray that God will just send me his students when he's ready, send me the type of people, because he knows what the type of people I want to, and he knows I want those people that are broken. I want to, beauty helped to change my life, Melissa. Right? Even though I had a 4-year degree, I was still working. My life didn't really change until after I did a beauty school. And so a lot of people don't look up to beauticians and hairstylists, but I have so much to give and I have so much to share, and I would just want to pour into them. You can do this. You can get your license. And even if you already can do something, get credentials for it. So you could actually to take off when it's time. You don't and you have the knowledge to build on. If you have your own knowledge right now, you're just building on that you know. But once you're exposed, and you can grow from there, you know. And so I just want to teach the students how to be not just hairstylists, but good human, productive humans of society, and how to change your life. Your life is in your hands. I'm realizing every day, Melissa, everything you do impacts your life, and it changes your life, whether negatively or positively. And you have to make that decisions to just be who you are. That's another thing too. Be authentic.
Yes, yes, yes.
I think you told me that in the first time, but be authentic. You have to be authentic to yourself, because God can't bless a fake thing. God is like, I don't know who you are. Be who you are, the good and the bad. $20, I came here with $20. You know, a lot of people talk about their humble beginnings, but I came from humble beginnings. There were times I went to bed without food. There were times I went to school without shoes. There were so many things happening in my life, but now I'm in a position to take somebody along with me on the journey. Not everybody can come, but I'm welcome to take those who God allow to ride with me.
Oh, wow, that is so powerful. This has been such a powerful conversation. And you have inspired me so much. You have inspired everybody that will see this and hear your voice and feel your passion and desire to not only do well for yourself, but to bring others along. And that is so powerful. Before we wrap up, I have a question for you. Our audience is people at different stages of their lives. There's somebody listening to you right now who has that dream. It's in their heart, it's in their belly, but they haven't been able to start. But there's also that person that did start, but it was hard. It got hard. And maybe they're thinking of quitting, or maybe they've quit already. What final words would you have for them?
Faith. You have to know that you know. And I've experienced it. I can say this from experience, Miss Melissa, because during this process, when I was doing it, first, when I started my school, I thought my school would be open last year, right? I was like, oh my God, I'm ready. But then the loan process took so long, the business plan took so long, you know, and with my trips in between, I'm like, oh my God, next year. And then when I got finally approved for that, the workers you have to deal with, you know, because people are not seeing your dream, not everybody share the vision. And so sometimes you have to be there to navigate it or to bring out what God wants for you, right? But there are times when you do it too, and you're like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting it to happen that way. Because guess what? You only have that dream in your heart, and God show you. He show you the beginning and you see the end. But what's about the in-between? And the in-between is the interim is what builds you, Melissa. Just even if you started sometime it's slow, or look at me right now. I thought I would start school and have all the students enrolled, but I'm realizing it's a different process when it comes to schooling and all the documentation, which I'm learning. It's a learning curve for me. So give yourself grace. And for those who already started, just find a way to pivot. Something else that you enjoy just for a little bit. You know, they said don't put your eggs in all one basket, but again, sometimes you don't want to be too stretched thin, but you just have to focus on something that you love. But also don't be afraid to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to do the same thing over and over again. We can change that at any time. And for those who want to start, I have to just say, just do it. Just do it, and then you go from there. Just do it, and you can see, because even with the school, when I opened my salon out of beauty school, I was like, oh my God, I'm just leaving beauty school. I wasn't gonna get any clients. And Miss Melissa, there are people out the door. I was working until 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the night. The next morning, until I start having to have a real system, because I'm like, oh my God, it just took over. But we can see that. But the dream is in you, the passion is in you, but you have to be resilient and know that you know without a shadow of a doubt, this is what the Lord has for you. And consult God all the time. God knows the plan He has for you for hope and to give you a favorable end, a blessed end, right? He's not going to let you start and not finish it, okay? The devil is just throwing traps in your way to deter you from your purpose, but keep going. God got your back, girlies.
Oh my gosh, girl, you have just blessed my heart. I just cannot wait to others hear you. That was so inspiring. You took us to church right there, and I loved every moment of it. People need to know how to stay connected to you. Let us know how they can stay connected to you after the show.
Yes, on Instagram, it's Kerry Fabulous. The school is Fab Institute of Beauty, the same on Instagram. The Fab Institute of Beauty, the same on Facebook. Kerry-Ann Richie Wilkinson on Facebook. And I do not have a TikTok yet for the school, but I should be making one because marketing is important. And so the Fab Institute of Beauty.com online, the website.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Kerry, for agreeing to come here today and just sharing your heart and just dropping so many nuggets. Thank you so much. This was so amazing. Wish you all the success in the world, because I know the Fab Beauty Institute is going to help so many women and men that comes through it. So thank you again for being here today.
Thank you so much, Melissa, for having me. You've been great tonight and I enjoy it.
Thank you so much. And thank you to our audience for tuning in today's edition of Dream by Design with Melissa Banks. I'm your host, Melissa Banks, saying all your dreams are possible. Believe in yourself, work hard, and don't quit. Until next time, thank you for choosing Dream by Design with Melissa Banks. Enjoy your day.